I'm Adarsh. This is indigomusic.com. This is called Founders Frequency on indigomusic.com in association with TiE Bangalore chapter. I'm conversing today. With me on the show is Mr. Abhijeet Inamdar, who is the co-founder and India CEO of SiriNor Technologies. It's a company that's into aviation and aerospace and defense. They're building a jet that is completely electric, right?
Yep. Yes,
Thank
that's
you so
true.
much for joining me, first of all, sir.
Thanks. Pleasure to be here. That's it.
Let's start. I want to start with asking you, in jet engines, you're trying to make it sustainable by replacing the fuel with, completely developing electrical jet engines that replaces fuel. What motivated you to work towards this? How did it all begin at SiriNor Technologies for you?
Yeah, sure. No, I think it was, if you look at the journey of jet engines, combustion jet engines, the
Right.
technology has been around more than 60, 70 years, and very few players are really controlling the market. Oligopoly is there, which is mainly the GEs, Rolls-Royce, Pratt, and Safran. Traveling is becoming more and more expensive, and that's also because the technology needs the high strength material or aluminums or rare earths that you call it, which are not easily available. So controlled by few countries. So there's a lot of dependencies, most countries, including India, on foreign tech. So that was one of the things that we wanted to break the barriers, and we said, okay, let's look at electrical jet engine, which kind of tackles those problems.
Right. I think one of the points I was going through your website, you have mentioned that there is decentralizing of manufacturing of jet engines happening by replacing the combustion engines with the electric engines. So how is the market? I think you're reducing the dependency of super alloys, if I'm right. That is what is happening. Like you said, this technology and this thing being in India actually reduces dependency that we have on these other countries that have access to these alloys, right? Other than the most important effect, that this has on, India's dependency on foreign countries, for the environment, what are we doing and how is this going to help humans overall, India in specific, even Norway, because I think this is a Norway India collaboration. So, how is this going to help nature and the environment?
Correct. Yeah. So SiriNor is a parent company is based in Norway, subsidiary in India. So we are trying to bring the best of both worlds together to solve the climate problem. Actually,
Right.
so whenever there is a combustion technology used by itself, actually it generates CO2 and non-CO2 emissions. If you're using the fossil fuels, even if you don't use fossil fuels, for example, and you use the cleanest fuel like hydrogen, and you burn it or combust it, you still have the non-CO2 emissions, which actually those non-CO2 emissions have higher impact on climate or global warming compared to just the CO2 emissions. So really to have a best impact and reduce or remove all emissions, you have to get away from combustion technology, which is what happens when you go electric. You're not burning anything. It's pure electric, so no emissions, no CO2 emissions, no non-CO2 emissions. So that's best for humanity, best for global Earth, I guess. And that's our mission to make sure we are bringing the cleanest propulsion system to the market, and that is affordable and hopefully made in India.
Right. Let me also ask you, in developing electrical jet engines at SiriNor, what has been some of your biggest challenges, and where would you want the government or the public sector or the people to come in and help you at this point of time?
Sure, I think there's a couple of different angles to it. Number one is, especially in India, when you talk about climate issues, you don't get that immediate buy-in because there are other problems that we're still trying to solve. When
Right.
compared to Norway, when you climate tech that we're solving the emission problem, you get immediate buy-in. So two differences there, and that we have to, that personally I have to deal with at least being in Norway and India. Number two is in terms of manufacturing jet engines or anything when it comes to aviation aerospace, we have this perception that this is really very difficult. Few companies are there. It takes really long time, more than 10 years to bring anything to the market. So that perception is also there. There are a lot of realities to that, but of course when a startup does something revolutionary, things can move fast, and that we have seen that in multiple industries. So hopefully people in India and the government side of it, they understand, they pay attention to this, that this can be revolutionized. Especially Sirinor and a few other startups have proven the electric jet engine technology, at least on the ground. It works. Now, of course, the steps are to make it more, bring it to market commercially, and then scale up from there. So if government can help financially, that's always best. The policies has to go in that direction to to reduce emissions and to help make these sustainable solutions more commercial, just like the US government had done for Tesla and few other countries have done for the other sustainable solutions. So aviation, unfortunately, is the last industry to be looked at. It is hard to abate, but it is important because aviation in potentially will emit almost one-fifth of global emissions within a couple of decades if we don't solve this problem now.
All right. I think, like you said, in India, we're solving a lot of other problems. So I think Norway as a country would probably put it first compared to like these the countries, Asia, especially India and stuff like that. Okay. You also won the Innovation Category Award at the Matrix Global Summit 2025. First of all, congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah.
And how was the experience at the Matrix Global Summit? How was your entire experience? I'm sure you probably got to hear a lot of other speakers talk about different emerging deep tech technologies that are coming in. And how was the entire summit and how did you feel that? How was the entire experience?
Yeah, no, I think I enjoyed really a lot, especially because the topics that were organized by Matrix this time were had a variety of inclination towards aerospace, defense, as well as a few other verticals. And when it comes to electrification of aviation, we had at least SiriNor and a couple other companies speaking about it. So it was good to have folks doing similar work in electrifying aviation, especially when it comes to defense side. The important value proposition for electrifying the engine is a potential stealth mode, which is where India is now looking at defense, for example, drones and all. If you go surveillance mode, our engines can be used in that, and you can do it for longer endurance in a potential stealth mode side. The other aspect of Matrix was there were investors, there were startups, there were potential customers. So it was good to have the conversation, open conversation on where exactly the industry stands. There were a couple of topics or panel discussion coming directly from Colin Aerospace, ex-Airbus guys, and also who gave the picture why aviation industry is a laggard, and also how much backlog is there in terms of how many aircrafts are needed worldwide. Fast aviation industry is growing, especially after pandemic, and also so really it was variety of topics and value added folks were there. So it was good to be there, and of course enjoyed the most after winning the competition. So
I'm
that was
sure
how it
you
was.
also got a fair idea about where your competitors are standing with their products. I think that is also kind.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And in India, of course, unfortunately, we have never been able to commercialize a jet engine. And the challenges were those two. One was the combustion chamber technology, and the other one was the material that I spoke about. By going electric, we are making the metallurgy very simple. So all we need is aluminum and titanium alloys, which are easily available in India. So that solves the biggest problem that we can indigenously manufacture jet engines now and commercialize it and make it for the world. So we can be leaders, especially in electrifying jet aircrafts. That's what I believe. India can definitely play a big role if we really support all these technologies.
It was pretty insightful for me and very informative, especially when I went through the website. I did see that what Nor is trying to do. Even jet engines that are used in defense, you're trying to make the engines more electric. That contributes to clean aviation or clean air, and that indirectly also contributes to the environment and reduce global warming and stuff like that. But what I got to know now is also India's dependency on those super alloys can be reduced when these engines can go electric instead of using the regular combustion engines. So that's how it's decentralizing the entire jet engine market. Thank you so
Correct.
much for coming in, giving your time and sharing these thoughts and your ideas, and of course, what SiriNor is doing with us. I'm sure it'll help somebody out there. Thank you so much for giving us your time, Mr. Abhijeet Inamdar, co-founder and India CEO of SiriNor Technologies. Thank you so much. This is IndigoMusic.com's Founders Frequency in association with TiE Bangalore chapter. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Adarsh. Take care.